But I want to share just quickly a devotional thought with you from 1 John chapter 1. As you're turning there, when Christ was born, on that Judean hillside appeared angels to the shepherds. And those angels said, "This shall be to you good news of great joy." Good news of great joy. But the sad reality is that there's not great joy on the earth, because the earth doesn't know it. Sin has corrupted. It promises one thing, but it produces sorrow. And so it leaves this earth defunct of true joy. And people go from here and there searching for it. Christians, those of us who name the name of Christ, we have the greatest comforts, we have the greatest resources, we have the greatest material blessings here, and yet many Christians are not living a joyful life. The psalmist said in Psalm 16:11, he said, "In thy presence is fullness of joy." He says, at your right hand there are pleasures forevermore. And yet Christians are not living in joy. And it's painfully absent from the lives of people and of Christians. And I want to talk about one reason today. And this is a sermon with only one point. And let's look at 1 John chapter 1, and we'll read verses 3 and 4 for the sake of time. I got to read the first 4 verses. It won't take a second. He says, "What was from the beginning," John said, "what we have heard, what we have seen with our eyes, what we have observed and have touched with our hands concerning the word of life. That life was revealed, and we have seen it, and we testify and declare to you the eternal life that was with the Father and was revealed to us. What we have seen and heard, we also declare to you, so that you may have fellowship along with us. And indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ." He says, what we are writing these things so that our joy may be complete. Amen. This morning, I just want to give you 3 keys here on why Christians sometimes are not experiencing joy. And it all revolves around one thing. We are not experiencing joy because we are not sharing our faith. That's the breakdown of it. We're not sharing our faith. You see, that is key to a joyous life. Because when you share your faith with someone, you immediately feel lighter. You immediately know you have obeyed God. You immediately know and have a hopeful outlook that this person will come and trust Christ. They may or may not do it then. They may do it later. But you have observed the commandment to go into all the world and make disciples. And so, let me give you just 3 thoughts here about experiencing this fullness of joy by sharing our faith. First of all, we need to embrace our motivation. It's okay to be motivated to share your faith simply for the joy of it. That's not the only reason. We should share our faith because of obedience. We should share our faith because people need to know the Lord. But it should cause joy in our own hearts. You see, the phrase there, these things we write to you, that your joy or our joy may be full, in the Holman Christian, as I read. In most of our Bibles, in my New King James Bible and in the King James Bible, And in some other translations it says that your joy may be full. Now there's a big difference between your joy and our joy. You see, John's motivation here in sharing the gospel was not only that they would have joy, but that he would have joy. The word that's used there in the original manuscripts is in the second person. It's translated in the second person plural, which is your. But the word that's used in the actual manuscripts, is first person plural, meaning our. It's inclusive of himself along with everyone else. And so the motivation to share our faith is something that we must embrace even for a personal motivation. This joy experience was not limited to the Apostle John, as indicated by this plural pronoun. Divine joy is available to all believers who share their faith with the expectation and the faith that others will come and follow him, that they may experience this together. It is that togetherness that we heard in the Scriptures in the book of Acts, that they were all together and had things in common. It's a togetherness that we are all in this together, and we want you to be a part of this. So it's an inclusive term. It's a motivating term, and we must embrace that. Paul said to the Thessalonians, he said, "You are our glory and our joy," in 1 Thessalonians 2:20. And I believe that sometimes Christians are missing a big piece of the puzzle for joy when we do not share our faith. Now, let me just segue here and say, you know what? A good time to share your faith is on Tuesday night.
Amen.
When we go and knock on the door and talk with people. Usually it's somewhat warm contact. It's somebody that we know or somebody that's been to the church. And that we go and we sit down with them and we say, we'd like to check with you and see how you're doing. And then let the conversation go towards salvation. And you know what? You can be a part of that. We meet every Tuesday evening at 6:30. In fact, if you really want to be a part of it, come early for prayer. The church is open all day. Maybe you might want to come at lunch on your prayer and have some prayer time here at the church. And we're praying for revival, but go with us on outreach. Well, number two, we don't not only need to embrace our motivation, we need to express our message joyfully. We don't need to step up and say, you wouldn't want to trust Jesus, would you? As if we're almost selling tombstones or something. You know, one of those things you hate. You don't really need to trust Jesus as if it's fire insurance. We need to express it joyfully. That's what happened to those shepherds. This shall be good news of great joy. And so when we get the privilege to talk with someone, that we need to express it with joy. John here talked about that our fellowship is with you and it's with the Father. And it leads to great joy. And John shares the message of eternal life that enables disconnected people to connect with God and with others. And you know who's disconnected? It's those who do not know Him. They're disconnected. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of other people disconnected from God. Because at some point in their life, they made a decision. Maybe they were baptized. Maybe they prayed a prayer. But they never followed up on that. Or they did for a little while and then they fell away. Those people are disconnected from God's life too. You see, it's like a power cord. You can't get that light bulb to burn if the cord's not plugged into the power source. And you know what? A lot of people have lost their connection with the power source. And so we need to share our faith and express it with joy. Express this message. It's good news. It's not bad news. It's not hard news. It's good news of great joy. We live in a time where people experience issues like terrorism and border control and health care and education and economic downtrends and aging parents and relationship struggles. All of us probably have one area out of some of those that we could give some opinion on, or maybe even give some experience on, something we know about. But you know what people need to hear from us more than anything? They don't need to know what we think will fix the economy. They don't need to know what we think should be done about border control. You know what they need to hear? Say it. You know, they need to hear about Jesus. They need to hear the good news of salvation. And so when we do this, when we express this message, we should express it with joy, and we will experience joy. And so we need to embrace our motivation and express our message. You see, John is writing this in somewhere around AD 90. It's been 60 years. And he's still expressing the joy. This is why I'm writing to you. And so he never got over the fact that Jesus rose from the grave, and he is still telling the story that he gives eternal life. It's good news. We should share it. Now, some of us, we're quick to tell about where we got a bargain. Somebody said something to me about my suit this morning. I said, oh, this is my $10 suit. Because I got it for $10 at Providence. I was so happy to tell that. You know what? We ought to be the most happy to tell about Jesus. We could be excited and talk about the Falcons. They're in the playoffs. Somebody reminded me, Pastor, are we still meeting at 5 o'clock? Yeah. He said, you know what's happening? I said, yeah. Do you know what? And it's good news. We're excited for the Falcons. If you come, you can see the first part of the game before you leave. Come to prayer meeting tonight, the prayer for revival. And then you'll get home and see the end of the game. You know those games, they go on forever. And so if it's not a blowout at the first, then you'll see an exciting finish. So that's just the way it will happen. And so we can get excited about sharing good news. Sometimes we get excited about sharing good news about a good restaurant. Man, have you ever been to so-and-so and eat? We can get excited about that. But shouldn't we share and express the greatest message of all? That Christ came to save sinners. Amen. Well, then there's a third thing that will help us experience true joy. And that is that we need to enlist a variety of methods. John said, he said, use words like testify. He used words like declare. Some translations use the word proclaim. And he used the words like write. You know what he was saying? Is I'm doing everything I can to help you get this message. And the truth is, too many of us are not doing anything to help you get the message. And if we do, we think, well, I've done my little part. I put my money in the offering plate. But don't get me wrong. We need your money. We need your tithes. We'll put it to work in the kingdom of God. But you know what? That is just so minuscule. In fact, God told the nation of Israel, He said, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of your tithes and the way you do things. Because your heart is far from me. You see, we need to enlist all the methods that we can because we want others to know Him. For John, evangelism is more like a buffet instead of a single entree. I'll have some of this, and I'll have some of that, and I'll have some of that. These are all the methods I use. See, not everyone can go to Kenya, but some can be ready to go, or some can support those who are going, and still others might not be able to do either one of those, but they can pray earnestly. When Jesus walked along the seashore and He came upon Peter, He said, "Follow me and I will make you a fisher of men." You know, there's one thing I know about fishermen. They invest their time and their money into it. They might even get them a video game and learn how to do it better, how to make a better cast. See, whatever you love, you invest your time and your money. Now, fishermen, they're always on the lookout for a good lure. They want the best reel. They might even graduate up to, they get an aluminum boat, or heaven forbid, a big old bass boat with a big old motor on it. Trolling. I mean, they are investing their lives into what they enjoy. What are we investing in? Do we invest our lives into sharing Jesus with anyone? Yes. With someone? Or with everyone? Like Paul said, I preached a couple weeks ago, he says, by all means. I share with all means. Same is true if you're a fisherman, if you're a deer hunter. I was telling them in the early service about my father-in-law that passed last year. He loved fishing, but he really loved deer hunting. And he had all kinds of rifles. He had a rifle for this type of thing, and a rifle for this type of thing. He had a crossbow for bow season. He had a musket loader for a musket season. He had all the different guns because he loved deer hunting. And by the way, he loved eating deer meat. That was his favorite. He would make big old deer roast, and that was just part of what he did. Because when you love something, you're about everything about it. Now I wonder if that describes us when it comes to our faith and reaching people. Sadly, I don't think it does. And I think that's the reason there's missing joy in the hearts of believers sometimes. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to share our faith, to see lost people come to faith. And we shouldn't allow, if we fail in that, win souls, to steal our joy, because after all, we're not responsible for their decision. We're responsible for our sharing. Paul described it as a privilege in 2 Corinthians verse 4 and 7, speaking of the message. He says, we possess a great treasure in jars of clay. And he said, God has given me this ministry. Over and over through the New Testament, it uses the phrase, worthy. Counted me worthy. Paul said, when you pray for me, pray that I would be worthy of what God's done. How would it be worthy? By sharing. By reaching people with the gospel. Let me just close with a story about a young girl. When she was young, she went through a puzzle stage. Some of you have had kids, you've been through the puzzle stage, and every night she wanted Daddy to help her put together a puzzle. And so the dad, being a good dad, he would sit down every night with him and put together a puzzle. And he would always take the top of the puzzle that's got the picture on it, and he put it right there so he could see it. So he could see the end goal in mind. And so he could complete the puzzle as quickly as possible. That's the way we think. You see, the daughter, though, she didn't do that. She just dumped them all out and started putting pieces together. Started working. She never looked at the picture. It never occurred to her to complete her task as quickly as possible. Why? Because she was enjoying the process. There was joy in putting the puzzle together and putting the puzzle together with Dad. She was spending time with Dad every night. And by the way, she was postponing her bedtime as she did that. And so let me just say, if you could use more joy in your life, why don't you follow John's advice and find a lost soul and share the gift of eternal life. Share it. Share what Jesus, share what you've experienced here this morning. Share the love of God that's filled your life, and then tell them how they can have it too.